By the year 2123, Earth had become a ghost of what it once was. The blue planet that had once pulsed with life and invention was now a wasteland of dust, ruin, and regret. Centuries of greed had drained its oceans, burned its forests, and poisoned its skies. Those who could afford to flee had escaped long ago, boarding starships bound for new colonies among the stars. Those who stayed did so out of desperation or loyalty to a dying home. Among the last remnants of humanity was Dr. Alex Turner, once a brilliant scientist, now a man haunted by memories. His brown hair hung unkempt, a rough beard shadowed his face, and his eyes carried the weary look of someone who had lost almost everything. Years earlier, during the chaos of Earth's evacuation, he'd lost his wife, Dr. Elena Turner, a fellow researcher, and the love of his life. She had vanished without a trace, leaving Alex and their 8-year-old daughter, Lily, behind. For Lily's sake, Alex had stayed. They lived in the ruins of an abandoned research facility, half buried in dust, yet still standing against the wind and time. It was once a place of discovery and ambition, where Alex and Elena had dreamed of saving their planet. Now it was a shelter, filled with fading memories and broken machines. Outside its crumbling walls roamed scavengers, feral beasts twisted by mutation, and endless wilderness creeping back to reclaim what humanity had destroyed. But every day, Alex clung to a fragile ritual, trying to reach someone, anyone, over an old radio transmitter. Each attempt ended the same: static, silence, failure. Until one afternoon, as Alex adjusted the frequency dials, a strange sound slipped through the static. It wasn't a voice, not exactly. It was music, a melodic, haunting tone that didn't belong to this Earth. The rhythm was too perfect, too alien, too alive. His breath caught as he leaned closer. Then the ground trembled. Lily ran to the window, her small face glowing with awe. "Daddy, look!" she cried, pointing at the sky. Through the gray, poisoned clouds, a streak of light tore across the heavens, a ship descending fast, flames trailing behind it. Alex's heart pounded as it screamed toward the ground, crashing with a thunderous roar not far from the facility. Instinct took over. He pulled Lily close, shielding her as the shockwave rolled through. When the dust finally settled, silence followed, a silence too deep to be natural. Alex looked out toward the crash site, a faint blue glow pulsing through the smoke. Someone was out there. Curiosity, fear, and a spark of impossible hope drove him forward. Hand in hand with Lily, he stepped out into the cold wind and walked toward the light. What they found defied everything he had ever believed. Half buried in the earth was a ship, sleek and silver, unlike any human design. Beside it stood a figure, tall, graceful, glowing faintly in the gloom. Her skin shimmered with shades of blue, her hair like flowing liquid silver, and her eyes were like stars, filled with light and sorrow. For a moment, neither moved. Then she lifted her hand, palm open, a universal sign of peace. Alex felt no threat, only calm. She spoke, her voice a soft melody that resonated deep within his mind. Though he couldn't understand the words, he felt their meaning: empathy, sadness, hope. Lily, fearless as ever, stepped forward. "Who are you?" she asked softly. The being smiled, placing her hand over her heart. "Nera," she said, her name echoing like a song in their minds, and just like that, their lives changed forever. Over the days that followed, Nera became part of their world. She explained, through telepathy, that she came from Elysia, a distant planet in the Andromeda galaxy. Her people, the aliens, were explorers dedicated to protecting life across the stars. They had once faced their own near extinction, but rebuilt their civilization in harmony with nature. Nera's mission was to find survivors on Earth and offer them aid. Her crash had been an accident, but she refused to abandon her purpose. In return for Alex's help repairing her ship, she promised something unthinkable: a new beginning among the stars. Together they worked tirelessly. Day after day, Alex and Nera scavenged for parts amid the ruins, using what little remained of human technology to restore her ship. Her knowledge was beyond anything Alex had ever seen: elegant, efficient, alive. And slowly, trust grew between them. Lily adored her. In the evenings, Nera would show Lily visions of Elysia, floating cities, emerald forests, and crystal seas that shimmered with starlight. Lily would respond by drawing pictures of Earth as it once was, and Nera would smile with an understanding only someone who had known loss could have. For Alex, those nights became something sacred. After Lily fell asleep, he and Nera would sit in the control room, surrounded by flickering lights and the soft hum of machines. scenes. He told her stories of Earth's past glories, of humanity's arrogance, of Elena, the wife he still loved. Nera would listen quietly, sometimes placing a gentle hand on his arm. She never offered false comfort, only presence, and a deep empathy that words couldn't match. But danger was never far. Rumors had begun to spread among the survivors. Rumors of an alien visitor with miraculous technology, and in the wastelands, rumors were as deadly as bullets. One name spread with them: Cade. Once a soldier, now a ruthless scavenger lord, Cade and his gang roamed the ruins, preying on the weak. When he heard about Nera, his greed ignited. An alien ship meant power, and power was everything. The night he came, the horizon burned red with sunset. Alarms blared as Cade's men breached the facility. Nera's telepathy flared, warning Alex to hide Lily. He tucked her into a concealed compartment, whispering, "Stay quiet, no matter what happens." Moments later, Cade stormed in, tall, scarred, eyes cold with calculation. "Well," he sneered, staring at Nera. The stories were true. He circled her like a predator. "You're going to tell me how that ship works. You'll help me leave this rock, or your friend dies." Nera stood motionless, her glow dimmed, but her eyes unyielding. Alex tried to intervene, but Cade's men restrained him. They began tearing through the room, searching for anything valuable. One of them nearly found Lily's hiding place, but fate spared her. Through the chaos, Nera reached out to Alex telepathically. "The ship's beacon. We can call my people, but I need time." He nodded subtly. While Cade demanded answers, Nera stalled him, her words a symphony of meaning he couldn't decipher. Meanwhile, Alex crept toward a hidden console and began reactivating the beacon. The faint hum of power filled the air. A guard noticed. "Hey, what the hell are you?" Before he could finish, a wave of force burst from Nera's body, sending men crashing against walls. Lights flickered. Alarms wailed. Cade roared and lunged at her, knife in hand. She dodged effortlessly, eyes blazing with light. A single motion disarmed him. Alex completed the sequence. The beacon flared, its pulse soaring skyward, reaching for the stars. But Cade wasn't done. He grabbed Alex, pressing a gun to his head. "Stop, or he dies." The room froze. Nera hesitated, anguish flickering in her eyes. Then a small voice broke the silence. "Let my daddy go." It was Lily, standing in the doorway, clutching one of Nera's glowing devices. Cade turned, mocking her. "Or what, little girl?" She pressed the button. A blinding flash filled the room. Pure light. Cade screamed, blinded. Nera moved like lightning, disarming him and throwing him to the floor. It was over. As silence returned, the ship's radio crackled to life. A melodic voice spoke in Nera's tongue. Help was coming. Relief flooded the room, but also sadness. They all knew this was the end of one world and the beginning of another. Nera turned to Alex and Lily. "Your world is broken," she said in his mind, "but not beyond hope. Come with me. There is still a place for you among the stars." Alex hesitated. Leaving meant abandoning any chance of finding Elena, but staying meant death. He looked at Lily, the only part of his wife that remained. He made his choice. "For her," he said quietly. "We go." When Nera's people arrived, the sky filled with silver light. The rescuers secured Cade and his men, then prepared the ship for departure. As Alex, Lily, and Nera stepped aboard, Earth fell away behind them, a scarred world fading into shadow. "This isn't an ending," Nera told him softly. "It's the beginning of something new." He nodded. For the first time in years, he believed it. The journey to Elysia was long, but filled with wonder. Through the observation deck, Alex and Lily watched galaxies pass like rivers of light. Nera taught them about her world, its harmony, its mistakes, its rebirth. When they finally arrived, Elysia unfolded before them like a dream. Vast green forests, silver oceans, floating cities that shimmered in sunlight. It was everything Earth could have been. They were welcomed with open arms. The aliens were gentle, wise, and deeply curious about the humans who had survived Earth's fall. For Lily, it was paradise. For Alex, it was peace. But even peace carries ghosts. Months passed. Alex found new purpose among the aliens, helping research ways to restore Earth's lost balance. Nera remained close, a friend, a guide, something more than either of them could name. Then one day, everything changed again. The aliens detected a faint human signal from an off-world colony aiding Earth's survivors. A name echoed in the transmission logs: Elena Turner. Alex's heart nearly stopped. With Nera by his side, he traveled to the colony. And when they landed, he saw her, alive, older, but unmistakably her. Their reunion was raw and tearful, years of grief dissolving in an instant. Together, they returned to Elysia, where a new life awaited, a life not of loss, but of rebirth. Nera watched them from afar, smiling softly. She had saved them. Yes, but they had saved her, too. In them, she had found something her people's technology could never create: family. As the stars shimmered above Elysia's sky, three souls, human and alien, stood together at the edge of a new dawn. Hope had found them again, and this time it would not fade.